And once again, Kamala Harris was right about everything. The former vice president warned the American people that Donald Trump would send the military after all of us. And we have seen it clear as day. He sent the National Guard to California. Now the National Guard is here in Washington, D.C., along with other federal agencies, walking around with rifles in hand as though they are in the streets of Baghdad. Next up on the list is Chicago. And Donald Trump is going a step further and creating a special task force within the National Guard that will do the work of what your day-to-day police officer should be doing. All under the disguise of controlling riots and reining in crime. Crime that is at an all-time low across the United States. And the interesting thing about all of this, he's only going after blue states, but completely overlooking the fact that many red states deal with crime also. Again, you just couldn't vote for the black woman, right?
Donald Trump will give billionaires and corporations massive tax cuts like he did before. He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. And he wants to impose what I call the Trump sales tax on everyday basic necessities, which, as economists have reviewed, would cost the average family nearly $4,000 more a year. In fact, independent economists like Goldman Sachs have said my plan would grow our economy and his plan would shrink the economy, reignite inflation, and send us into a recession by the middle of next year.
Kamala Harris was right about everything. Russia is giving information to Iran. Russia is giving information to Iran about U.S. warships, aircraft, other assets in the region. U.S. intelligence knows this. Kamala Harris said that these dictators would eat Trump for breakfast or for lunch, whatever. And MAGA laughed at her, and MAGA acted like their God King is this tough businessman who can strike deals with anyone. And Trump has always said Putin is his, that they have a good relationship, they're buddies, acting like he knows how to control him. No, it's the other way around. Putin knows how to control Trump, and he always has. And when Trump was asked about the U.S., when he was asked about Russia giving information to Iran, his response was, "What a stupid question." What a stupid question. Are we great yet, MAGA? Is this America first? Acknowledging that someone who is supposed to be an ally of the president, right? They're supposedly have a good relationship according to Trump. Giving information to our enemy. Is this what you voted for? This the art of the deal?
Hey lovely people, welcome to the voice of the voiceless. Thank you so much for watching. If you are coming in for the very first time, please guys push this channel to 1,000 subscribers, please. If you haven't subscribed, do where to do so. Okay, all right, so you just watched that clip where Kamala Harris is talking about Donald Trump. She never wanted Americans to vote for Donald Trump. Yes, she was actually an opponent, and she's actually the 49th vice president, a black American, and the former vice president, okay, between the year 2020 to 2025, if I'm not mistaken. So she said they should not vote for Donald Trump because Donald Trump is dangerous. We just heard that, right? When she was actually saying that Donald Trump is no good for the people. Anyway, without wasting much of your time, I still have a set of clips that are brought together. You continue listening to it and ensure to state your opinion at the comment section. Let's go. Let's listen to this.
What's really been pissing me off this morning is that I keep looking at these videos of women saying, you know, you just didn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman, that's why you voted for Trump. And then women down below in the comments say, no, actually, it's just because he's such a good businessman and I know that he's going to make America great again. So we're going to break down every reason why it's a fucking sham. So the first thing I realized after looking at his business track record is that he likes to take normal things, slap Trump on it, say that it's luxury or successful, and then market it to people that don't understand that's just a sham. First up, we've got Trump Airlines from 1988 to 1992. He spends $245 on this luxury airline, which isn't really luxury, it's actually just a regular airline that has some gold fixtures up in the bathrooms. And then of course he can't make a profit, and by 1992, he falls on his loan payments, and then the airline gets turned over to the creditors. Number 2, 2006 to 2011, we have Success Distilled, which is Trump vodka. The thing is, Trump was known for not drinking, so no one bought his vodka, and it totally. This is my personal favorite. 2005, we have Trump University. This one lasted 5 years, and then kind of had an additional 5, if you will.
Kamala Harris was a prophet. Everything that she predicted Donald Trump would do, he has done in less than 18 months. He has started new wars. He has driven up inflation, not just at home, but global inflation as well. He has driven up energy prices. He is spiraling us into the biggest recession that anyone has ever seen since the Great Depression. So tell me, if you voted for Donald Trump, why exactly was it that you could not put the best interest of yourself, your friends, and neighbors above your misogyny and patriarchy?
He wants a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military that is loyal to him. He wants a military who will be loyal to him personally. One that will obey his orders even when he tells them to break the law or abandon their oath to the Constitution of the United States. In just the past week, Donald Trump has repeatedly called his fellow Americans the enemy from within, and even said that he would use the United States military to go after American citizens. And let's be clear about who he considers to be the enemy from within. Anyone who refuses to bend a knee or dares to criticize him would qualify, in his mind, as the enemy within, like judges, like journalists, like nonpartisan election officials.
A video is making its way around TikTok right now, and it's gotten under a lot of people's skin. A man stares directly into the camera and says, with every ounce of energy he's got, that anytime someone opens their mouth and says they didn't vote for what's happening in this country, they need to follow it up with 3 words. Kamala was right. And the thing is, that video didn't just get a few likes and disappear. With millions of views, tens of thousands of comments, stitches, duets, and response videos, it's safe to say the video blew up. What makes this moment different from the usual partisan back and forth is that the people saying Kamala was right aren't just Democrats. Some of them voted for Trump, some of them sat the election out. And now, as the war in Iran enters its 2nd month, as the economy sheds jobs, as tariffs push grocery prices higher and higher, these people are going back and watching old clips of Kamala Harris on the campaign trail. And they're realizing, with a sinking feeling, that she told them exactly what was going to happen. This is Alex Harper, and welcome back to Signal Feed. So today, we're going to do something straightforward. We're going to look at what Kamala Harris actually said during the 2024 campaign. Then we're going to look at what's actually happened since, and you can decide for yourself whether the woman America rejected was the one who had it figured out all along. Let's start with the big one, the war. In 2019, years before she ever ran for president on the Democratic ticket, Kamala Harris sat down and talked about Donald Trump's approach to Iran. She didn't mince words. She said the president was motivated by personal insecurities, not national security. She warned that any military escalation with Iran would be avoidable, and that the consequences for American soldiers would be tragic. Fast forward to February 28, 2026. The United States and Israel launched coordinated airstrikes on Iranian military sites, nuclear facilities, and government targets, including an assassination strike on Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. According to reporting from the BBC and multiple international outlets, the strikes were launched during active negotiations between the US and Iran. Iran responded by closing the Strait of Hormuz, launching missile and drone strikes against US bases and allied countries across the Middle East, and the entire region spiraled into the broadest military conflict the area has seen in decades. As of this week, ceasefire talks are stalling. Iran's foreign ministry has denied plans for direct negotiations with American envoys. Trump extended the ceasefire deadline, but the naval blockade of Iranian ports continues, and Hezbollah has escalated its strikes on Israel, with satellite imagery showing entire neighborhoods in southern Lebanon flattened. According to CNN, the destruction in towns like Bint Jbeil is consistent with systematic demolitions. Congress never formally authorized this war. That's not opinion. That's fact. Representatives Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie tried to invoke a discharge petition to block the unauthorized military action. It went nowhere. And here's what makes this sting even more. When Kamala Harris warned about exactly this scenario during the 2024 debate, MAGA influencers laughed. They called it hysteria. They called it clickbait. They said she had Trump derangement syndrome. One TikTok creator put it perfectly. He said people called us hyperbolic. They said we were trying to create hysteria. But when he watched that debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, he was sitting there saying to himself, she's 100% right. She's spot on. This is exactly what's going to happen. And it did. What makes the Iran situation even harder to stomach is that it didn't have to be a surprise. This wasn't some intelligence failure or unexpected provocation. Trump withdrew the US from the Iran nuclear deal back in 2018. He adopted a maximum pressure strategy. He assassinated Qasem Soleimani in 2020. The trajectory was visible to anyone paying attention, and Harris was paying attention. She said in 2019 that if Trump put the country on a path toward war with Iran, the consequences for young American soldiers would be absolutely unacceptable. She called the whole thing completely avoidable. Now American service members are deployed across the Middle East in an active combat zone. Gas prices have spiked because the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical shipping lanes on the planet, has been disrupted. According to analysis from RAND, Iran's closure of the strait has wreaked havoc on global energy markets and complicated any realistic path toward ending the conflict. And the administration's own officials can't even agree on what the goal of the war is. Vice President Vance says it's not about regime change. Then Trump posts on social media asking why there wouldn't be regime change. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says one thing, the State Department says another. It's chaos dressed up as strategy. Al Jazeera reported that the US is operating in what analysts call stark isolation. Unlike the 2003 Iraq invasion, where the US at least assembled a coalition, this time only Israel is fully on board. The UK reportedly refused to allow the US to use island bases for strikes on Iran, forcing B-2 bombers to fly 18-hour missions directly from the American mainland. That's not a coalition, that's desperation. And while all of this unfolds, remember what Kamala Harris was actually offering during the campaign. She stood on those debate stages and rally stages and told the American people she would walk into the Oval Office with a to-do list, not an enemies list. She said her focus would be bringing down the cost of living. She said she would give a middle-class tax cut to over 100 million Americans. She proposed the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging for groceries. She talked about covering home care under Medicare so seniors could age with dignity in their own homes. She talked about lowering childcare costs and cutting taxes for small businesses. None of that happened. Instead, the country got a war nobody voted for and an economy that's bleeding jobs. Now let's talk about money, because that's where this gets personal for every American watching this video right now.
Okay, so how many of you watched that debate between Vice President Harris and the convicted felon and believed her when she said that he would get us into another war? So you voted for her? We've just attacked her mom. Yeah, we should have a Kamala Harris right now.
Okay, lovely people, you just saw that, right? You just saw that. Sometimes let us listen when a woman is talking. A lot of people don't know the power of a woman. When a woman is saying something, sometimes it's not because she just wants that people should vote for her and all the like. Because now, are you hearing how Americans are now saying, oh, they have now confirmed what Kamala Harris said, that they were all true. The things she said were all true, because they are now seeing it, that the person they vote, MAGA voters are crying. They are saying the things they voted for are not what they are seeing now. What they ordered for is different from what they are getting now. And this is exactly what Kamala Harris was saying. But nobody listened to her. Nobody listened to her. They thought she was joking. They thought she was jealous. They thought she was envious. But now they are confirming to that fact. Alright, they are confirming to that fact. Let's continue to watch this set of clips where a lot of MAGA voters are still coming out to confirm that they now believe what Kamala Harris said. Let's watch.
For everyone who didn't believe Kamala when she said if you give him power back, he's going to turn into a dictator. For everyone who didn't listen to Kamala when she said look at his policies, they're going to make prices go up. Now you can take his word for it. Over the weekend, first he said on Friday, I couldn't care less if they raise prices. I couldn't care less. I hope they raise their prices. No, I couldn't care less. Talking about the effects of his tariffs and the inflation they'll bring. And then today, Sunday, Trump won't rule out seeking a third term in the White House. He tells NBC News there are methods for doing so. When asked to clarify, no, I'm not joking. Great.
Kamala Harris told you if you elect that man, you would be at war within 6 months. And now look. Now look. And you were worried about her laugh. That's what you were worried about. Okay.
So for all you fucking MAGA snowflakes that voted for Trump for the economy, for gas prices and cheaper eggs, I want to tell you something that you probably don't know because you don't know how to do research. Trump announced his 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada today. And that sounds great, wonderful. Except for the fact that only about 10% of the oil that we use in the US comes from the Middle East. You know where the rest of it comes from? Mexico and fucking Canada. So guess what? When gas prices are up at 45% in the next 6 months, I'm going to go around and I'm going to stick those stupid fucking stickers that you guys put on the gas pumps during COVID when Biden was president. Only this time it's going to have Trump's face and it's going to say, I did that. And you guys are going to have to fucking look at it and I'm going to laugh.
Hey, as a MAGA supporter, I got to say we fought around and found out. Know what we fought around and found out? We fought around and found out that Donald Trump is a great president. We fought around and found out that Donald Trump is a master negotiator. We fought around and found out that Donald Trump is not a dictator. We fought around and found out that Donald Trump is handling business on that world stage on behalf of the United States of America. We fought around and found out that he's making all opponents bow down to the United States of America. That's what we fought around and found out. We fought around and found out that the liberals are going to always be mad every single day, no matter what Donald Trump does. We fought around and found out that the liberals have Trump derangement syndrome, where every single move he does is under a microscope. Soon as he breathes, the liberals are mad. Oh, he's destroying the United States of America. We fought around and found out that Donald Trump is going to make America great again. We fought around and found out that Donald Trump has the best interest of the American citizens in mind. That is what we fought around and found out. We fought around and found out that Donald Trump is actually going to do what he said. We fought around and found out that Donald Trump is handling his campaign promises. That's what we fought around and found out.
So you know what I love is how Donald Trump and MAGA, for the next 98 days before the midterms, they are going to call Democrats communists because they know that they are going to lose. So they have to instoke fear into the yeehaw people to make them think that communism is bad. Because clearly what we have currently going on is not working. I mean, nobody should be working 2 to 3 jobs full time, and yet they still cannot afford life. That's not how that should work. So capitalism is expiring, and we need to do something new and find a better solution that's going to work for the people. And if calling, Democrats communists for wanting to help out work for the people, and if calling, Democrats communists for wanting to help out Americans with universal health care or education or universal grocery stores, then fine. Oh no, I'm helping out our neighbors. Oh no, we're actually using what our tax-paying money should be for instead of giving it to Israel. So I don't want to hear all this BS that, Democrat socialists are ruining America, because clearly MAGA is ruining America. MAGA hates America. MAGA would rather keep us in the dark ages than actually help America out and have us be prosperous and a beautiful, wealthy nation. They want us to struggle, and that's why anytime I hear anyone who says that they are MAGA, I automatically think that you hate America. Prove me wrong. So call me a Democrat socialist, call me a communist, I don't care. But you know what you will never call me is a MAGA.
MAGA are losing their minds right now, and Donald Trump is the reason, as he's replying to Fauci's hearing and taking credit for everything MAGA is complaining about. Now, as you know, Dr. Fauci was in front of Congress today, where he was part of a hearing to talk about 2020, but he only took the fifth, and MAGA are going off on Dr. Fauci, talking about all the bad things he's done. Well, Donald Trump decided to jump in and say this: Operation Warp Speed was a spectacular success. In fact, many say one of the most successful things ever done by an American president. That is the very thing that MAGA is complaining Dr. Fauci is responsible for. And here comes Donald Trump in the middle of their complaints and their belly aching, saying, yep, it was a great thing and I did that. Now, it should be noted, Donald Trump also said that he had to fight Dr. Fauci and he disagreed with him and overrode him on a lot of things. But it is absolutely amazing. Time and time again, if you support Donald Trump, you will find yourself taking a stance one day and having to flip the next because Donald Trump contradicts you.
All right, lovely people, I hope you saw that. God. Next time, people will learn to listen to women. People will learn to listen to women. They should know that it's not just about jealousy. Sometimes when a leader is talking like this, a politician that is a woman is talking like this, we should listen to her. Sometimes it's not just about the position, it's because of the instinct. Yes, it's because of the things she has seen before time. But when she wants to explain it, a lot of people feel like, oh, she just wants, she just do not like Donald Trump. Oh, she just probably just want her own things to go her way. No, sometimes it's not like that. I'm sure by now MAGA voters are like, next time if they give us a second chance that Kamala Harris should talk to us, we will listen to Kamala Harris. Actually, we will listen to her. All right, lovely people, let me to get your own opinion at the comment section. What do you have to say about this? What can you say about this? State it at the comment section. Do you think they should have listened to Kamala Harris, or this is just a coincidence? Yeah, is this just a coincidence? State your opinion, and please do not forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can actually push the channel ahead for more people to hear what is happening. All right, thank you so much, and please do have a nice day.